Hey everybody, welcome back to Jennifer's Garden. I know it's still February and it's snowing outside, but we are going to start asparagus. I did in my last video showed you how to sterilize all the seed trays, so step one complete. I did use the bigger seed trays because I'm planting asparagus. Asparagus is a perennial, so the root systems grow a little bit faster. So they need a little bit more room to grow. You don't want to limit them to one of the smaller, like 6-cell pack, because they will go right through that very quickly and you'll have to pot them up and in a quick amount of time. And you don't want to stress them out at all. So we'll use a little bit bigger trays. I have about 70 seeds here. See if you can see them. Now, the asparagus, since they're a perennial, we had to stratify them. So cold stratifying means that we have to actually mimic like a cold spell for the seeds. So I put these seeds in my refrigerator for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago I threw them in the fridge and I just took them out now. That'll just kind of tell them, okay, it's time to lay dormant for a little bit. And then once we put them in the soil, then they can germinate a little bit faster. So, I mean, you don't have to do it. It just helps them germinate a little bit quicker. So these will probably germinate in about 14 days versus like a 21 or 25 day germination. So patience is a virtue, and I don't have much of that, but trying. So we stratified the seeds, and we are going to plant them. So I have my big bucket of potting soil. You don't want to use regular soil because regular soil is really, really dense. They're for mature plants, and you want to give those little teeny tiny roots room to just grow out and expand. So you need a medium that's a little bit lighter, a little airier, and I pre-moistened the seed starting mix. This is just a Miracle Grow brand. It's fine. You can make your own, but I still had some left over from last year, so I figured I would just use it. So it's really light. It's really airy. It is meant to germinate seeds. Literally, that's all there is to it. You don't want soil because they don't need a lot of nutrients in this stage that I'm dealing with right now. So, and I pre-moisten everything because if you've ever noticed when you're watering some of your plants, especially in this really airy medium, it's almost like oil and water. So even when I was pouring the water in here, you could see it. It was just like floating around, like the soil was floating, the water was floating, and then I dig around a bit, and a lot of it's still not wet. So if you just put dry seed medium in here, and then you specifically plant the seeds the depth that you need them to be, and then you dump water on them, the seeds might float all around, and you might wash into another bin, or they may just wash away. So we don't really want to lose them. We want them to be exactly in the little home that we put them. So pre-moistened it. It's not too bad. It did take me a little while. It took quite a bit of water. So that's also too tells you that it holds the moisture a lot better when you pre-moisten it too. It is pretty good. So I pre-moistened everything. That's a good step to do. And then we're going to put it in each cell. I have 70 seeds, so we'll see how far we go here. I'm not going to plant all 70 of these. This is my experiment. If you watched any of my videos from last year, I was extremely surprised that my asparagus grew seeds. I didn't think I had any female plants. I didn't think you could get female plants up here in upstate New York where I am, but I guess I did. I just had the right year to do it. So I said, well, let's make a little experiment and try it out. So we want to compact it a little bit too, because we don't want it, you know, when you water stuff and then the soil level goes down and down and down because it's naturally compacting itself. So I'm going to compact this a little bit. Really excited too. I just set everything up for my grow area downstairs in the basement. It's not quite warm enough to go out on my front porch. I have a 3-season front porch that I usually put a table with all my seed trays. I have grow lights that I'll show you here in a little bit. And it's a lot of fun to watch everything germinate and grow. But again, it's too cold. It's still below freezing up here, so. But the asparagus seeds take a long time to germinate, so that's why I'm starting these so early. All right, so here we go. In your seed depth, a lot of your seed packets will tell you how deep to plant them, but rule of thumb is no more than 3 times the size of the seed. That's how deep you go. So honestly, it's really not that deep. Boy, I miss my hands being dirty, that's for sure. All right, so 70. Let's see if I can start with, I want to give them enough room here. Maybe I can do, all right. So these seeds look really small, but they're actually pretty big. And now the dirt is so dark. Okay. But the asparagus seeds, they're very dense too. So they did take a while to dry. Some of the skin's still on there. Okay, so I'm going to go through and put 1 seed in each hole. And then I'll show you what I got. So I put all the seeds in. I'm just going to take a little bit of potting mix and put it over the top. Now for watering, I'm going to bottom water these, which means since I have these bigger trays, and they're all separated, they're not like all the 72 cells all in one. So I will pop one of these out and I'll pour the water into the bottom of the tray, which moistens the soil from underneath from all the slats. So that way, once the seeds germinate, the roots are going to inherently go where the water is going to be mostly. So they're going to go down. That's where you want them to be. You don't want the roots to stay on the top, because then it's always constantly wanting more water because you're watering on the top. Plus, if you're watering on the top, you may have the chance of washing the seeds around. You want them to stay put where you want them. So I'll pop one of these out, put water in the bottom of the tray, and once I see that the moisture has reached the top, I'll just dump some of it out. and then we kind of just move on. So it's a little bit different environment in the house versus outside. So it doesn't have the air blowing around. It doesn't have a huge fluctuation of temperature like we do. We get up here. It gets really, really hot during the day, and then it gets really chilly at night, which the asparagus is used to all this, so because it's a perennial, doesn't mind the cold. All right. So we're all got her put to bed here. And then we will wait. So I'll bring you downstairs and I'll show you what I have set up for my whole growing area in the basement. So now we're downstairs. Here's my grow light so far. My husband ever so nicely added another trunk onto the heat ducts, so I have a little bit more heat over here. So everything is down here ready to go. Here's my heat mat. There's a specific amount of time that you need to use the heat mat. You can't run the heat mat 24/7. I have a dome. I didn't bring it down here, but I will. Heat mat with a dome on top plus moisture equals mold, mold, mold. You don't want mold and mildew in your growing medium all the time, because then you're going to get root rot, and we don't want that. So I will use the heat mats only for a specific amount of time. So I'll keep them underneath the seed trays just at nighttime, because I won't have the heat mat on plus the grow lights on plus a dome. You're just asking for disaster. So I'll leave the heat mats on at night with the lights off, dome on, until the seeds germinate. So I'll keep it, these mats are perfect size for one flat. So I'll turn it on at night, completely dark. The seeds, everything needs to rest. Just like we sleep at night, plants need to sleep at night. It's kind of their resting, dormant time at night, just like we need to rejuvenate too. So then in the morning, I will shut the heat mat off and I'll turn the grow lights on, and they'll be on for like a regular daytime, so they can experience light during the day. I'll keep the dome on until I see the seeds start germinating. Then I'll take the dome off. Don't want it to be too humid. I want it to be humid enough, and I don't want to stress the plants out. So I'll keep the dome on. I'll use the heat mats at night, grow lights on during the day. We have an app. My husband got an outlet plug that it goes to my phone, and I can use the app and I can turn the grow lights on, and there's timers on them. That's the best thing that you can do, is have a timer. Even if you have it plugged into the wall, have a timer. You can buy them real cheap, or this is really cool. I don't know what it's called. Wyze, W-Y-Z-E, plugs into the outlet. Your plug plugs into it, and you can control it with an app on your phone. It is pretty cool. Thanks, honey. So here we are. Miss Impatient, I would like my asparagus seeds to like sprout right now, but they won't. We'll wait a couple weeks. They'll probably take about 14 days, maybe a little bit longer. It's a little bit cooler down here. So hopefully the heat duct will help, and we'll see as we go. So I'll take videos once a week. I probably won't post everything once a week, just for you to see dirt. Although I like to look at dirt. So that's it right now. At some point this table will be overflowing, and I can't wait. I also have spent a lot of time planning over the winter. So I bought all my seeds. I have a whole bunch of new stuff that I want to plant this year. I'm so excited. I'm going to try a lot of things. I will probably fail a lot, but I'm going to try real hard, I promise. But like I said, everything that I can start inside, I'm starting inside this year. Except for like the direct sow stuff, green beans, carrots, even maybe lettuce I might just throw in the ground. sugar snap peas. I'm really excited. I'm going to try some new trellises and try some new things. I'm super excited. So I can't wait for you to go along on this journey with me, and I hopefully get a big harvest this year. Well, thank you for growing with me so I can grow with you. Until next time.